I've never lost a parent, right? And I didn't grow up with grandparents, right? So this was like my first like loss from like my most inner circle, like my holies of holies. I'm still processing it. It's just been less than 2 months. But what I would say though is that it was beautiful. It was beautiful because I am sad, but I'm not in pain. I'm sad because I'm not going to get the text messages, show him just certain things that I'm working on, or I'm getting honored somewhere and like he's not going to be there, right? So things like that, and you know, holidays, you know, so those things are sad. But it's not pain because I do not have any regret with anything. There's not one thing that I can say, tag, like, you know, maybe I should have answered his texts more, or, you know, maybe I should have, or like, you know, this was an unresolved issue. Nothing was unresolved. Like, I'm just really blessed from that lens. And then I also can see, because I'm sad, like, you know, the other day, like, I was at his house, I just started crying. There's those things, but it's literally like a crying of I miss you. Now that this is my first, like, loss, and if there was unresolved issues or whatever, oh my God. Because I'm like, I'm hurting now, like from a sadness standpoint, but there's not like a regret of anything. If I had some level of regret, like I wouldn't have been able to do this podcast. I had a friend of mine that called me. He said that he was a bit jealous that when my father passed, I was just like devastated. Because he said that he wished when his father passed that he actually cared. Damn. I was like, oh, damn, right? You see what I'm saying? Damn. So it's like, I had to look at it where it's like, wow, like I am sad because of the love that I had for him. But when my friend's father died, he didn't care because there was no emotional connection.
When I'm dealing with anxiety, although I'm not doing a physical activity, my body responds as if I'm doing a physical activity. My body responds as if I just did a workout. Like literally, I'll have sweaty armpits. I'll have sweat on the, you know, on my forehead. I'll have bowel movement. These are all things that I have after I work out. That lets you know how much internally your body's actually working when you're anxious. So I do feel like being at peace can extend your life. Because I think about it as like, if we look at like a phone battery, you don't want to drain out the battery doing a bunch of different things, having a bunch of different background apps going at the same time. You want to focus on whatever it is that you're focusing on, that one individual thing. I'm not thinking about all these 10 other different things causing my body to have anxiety, draining my battery even more. And I feel like what you said makes a lot of sense. Like living at peace allows you to not only one, have higher capacity for the thing that you're focusing on in the moment, but also have more capacity over time because you're not constantly draining your battery out.
The thing about parenting is that there's all of these assumptions. There's all of these like, oh, like all you have to do is X, Y, and Z. And then this is the specific algorithm to have a child that is like the next president of the United States. Parenting don't work like that, right? You know what I'm saying? It does not. It does not. It does not. Listen, I got a 14-year-old who I love so much. Good kid. I'm still trying to figure it out. Similarly with my 11-year-old, and she's turning 12 soon. But what I know, what I can control is how an example that I'm making through how I move, how I communicate with them, how they see me in society, and how they see me with their mom, and how they see me with my parents. So that's what I can control, because I also see the influence that my mother and my father and my two sisters made in my life. And even though the external world was influencing me in so many ways, the model that I had was my two parents and my sisters.
We're so dehumanized to believe that all we bring to a relationship is finances that we forget that the person that we're in a relationship with is actually a full human being that needs more than just money. And that in itself becomes the greatest difficulty for a lot of men that are able to get their finances right. For a lot of us, we can struggle to make that adjustment in the relationship to understand like, oh no, I actually do need to cater to her spiritual needs. I need to make sure that we're doing Bible studies or have a church home or doing prayer. We got to learn how to navigate all those things outside of just getting money. For a lot of us, it can be a very, very, very difficult transition to make. And if you're not careful, what will end up happening is you get in a relationship, you find someone great. Maybe they're good and they're working on stuff too. And like, if you were really in a place where you were actually able to lead effectively, you guys will be able to navigate that. But because you're so caught up on like the finances and that's just it, that relationship becomes so much harder.
Oftentimes, Black men tie their worth through their wealth. So it's like, if you do not have wealth, then you're worthless.
Facts.
Now, that's how many of us think. But then I look back at myself and I'm like, it's easy for me to say, oh my God, let me look at all of the intangibles when I'm okay. There's a great psalmist by the name of Dr. Kanye West, the old Kanye, right? He says, having money is not everything, not having it is. Meaning like, if I have money, then I can easily say, oh, it's not everything. If I don't have money, then it's everything. If now all I'm doing is providing and not exploring and like adventuring, then now I'm stuck here and my family's also going to be stuck here too. And I'm leading from a place of this is our box and we're good right here.
Yeah.
And that's it. I got married really young at a time. People ask me all the time, like, is that shifted your judgment on marriage and family and things like that? And I say, absolutely not. Two reasons. One, my parents, like, again, were married for 45 years, right?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's number one. Number two, I also see the beauty of family. Number three, me and my ex, like, we have a really great co-parenting relationship. And I really fully appreciate this Black woman. She is my daughter's superhero. So I have to make sure that the way that I treat her is a reflection of my daughter is seeing that. And then lastly, I would love to get married again. I'm totally open to it. I'm not jaded because I understand the beauty of family, right? You know, and who gonna cook for me? No, I'm crying. I'm crying. I learned how to cook. If he was here, I would just tell him thank you. Just seeing how I am today, seeing how I've been able to deal with the loss, seeing how I've been able to just be fully appreciative of the things that he did for me, my parents, like my mother and my sisters. It's just a testament to just who he was, right? The love and the capacity that I have for others, I got it through him. So literally, like, all I can just say is thank you. Thank you, man. Thank you for loving me. Like, he loved me so much. Like, love. Like, it was like an overwhelming amount of love. Because I experienced that, I'm able to pour that out to others. I remember him making phone calls to his friends and saying, hey, yo, like I met this young boy, he wants to go to school, da-da-da-da. And then he raised thousands of dollars for this young boy to go to school while he had so many other responsibilities. So then what that showed me was that, yes, you got to make sure that home is good, but then you cannot neglect your surrounding community. What I would say to him is thank you. And it goes back to the fact that I told him this story when he was alive too. And I told him that it was in that story that helped me to build Gentleman's Factory. I saw how he was so intentional about others that was ingrained in me, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, man, like he was just such an amazing man. Such an amazing man. Nobody really has the right answers. Everybody is figuring it out. There are some people who may just have an eraser when they make a mistake. Some of our mistakes are written in pen, but we got whiteout, which means that we could still come back from our mistakes. Life is 10% of what happened and 90% of our reaction to it. As Black men, as we get older, we tend to be more isolated, but let's break out of that. You need community. You literally need community. You need folks who you can call to say, hey, I'm not well. You need folks to call to say, hey, I actually need help. You need folks who you can be vulnerable with. I've been through a divorce. I'm an entrepreneur, so I'm constantly raising money. I'm constantly figuring it out every single day. There were times where I couldn't make a payroll and I had to make a couple of phone calls. There were times when my accounts was on overdraft. There was times where I literally looked like I was on top of the world, but inside I was struggling to just like pay this or pay that or whatever. And us Black men, when we don't have money, sometimes we feel like as though we're worthless. My brothers, I'm telling you, you're very valuable. Society is going to tell you that you're not. Maybe folks whom you hurt in the past will remind you of what you've done to them or said to them, etc. But that was your former self. Today is a new day, and you can rewrite history, or you could build upon your new version of yourself. You'll be all right. Everybody's going through things, but it's how you handle it. And don't pile on to the mistakes, but pivot. Everyone is pivoting, and you can too. I love you. We all love you. But let's build.